You know those people who just walk into a room and everyone seems to like them instantly? Ever wonder what their secret is? Well, that's what we're diving into today. We're going to unpack the best ideas from Marc Reklau's book, How to Become a People Magnet, and turn them into a simple, practical guide. We're breaking down exactly what it takes to build those incredible connections. Let's get right into it.
So the book kicks things off with this pretty wild quote from Les Giblin, and it really sets the scene. I mean, just think about that for a second. 85% of your success, and basically all of your happiness, comes down to how well you deal with other people. This isn't just about being popular. We're talking about the stuff that really matters. All right, so here's our game plan. We'll start with the why this is so important. Then we'll get into the three main pillars: mastering your mindset, learning the art of connection, and building that unbreakable trust. And then we'll wrap up with the one thing you can start doing today. Okay, let's start with the big secret. The main idea of the book is that it's not about being the smartest or most talented person in the room. Nope, it's about having the best people skills. This idea is the foundation for absolutely everything else we're going to talk about. So where does all this begin? Well, it's not with clever things to say or do. It actually starts with a huge shift in your thinking. See, being a people magnet isn't about being the loudest or most charming person. It's about getting really, really good at understanding what makes other people tick. Now, this might sound kind of harsh at first, but the book presents this as the absolute master key. Every single one of us, you and me included, is about 1,000 times more interested in our own problems, our own lives, and our own stories than in anyone else's. And once you stop seeing that as a bad thing and just accept it as human nature, you suddenly have the key to every social interaction. And here's how you use that truth. The book gives us this simple, powerful AAA formula. First, you just accept people for who they are, without trying to change them. Second, you find something you can honestly approve of about them, a genuine compliment. And finally, you appreciate them. And, this is key, you let them know it. These three steps tap right into that deep need we all have to feel important and valued.
And you want to know the simplest, but maybe most powerful tool you have? A real, sincere smile. It's not just about looking friendly. The book points out that a smile makes you seem more confident, more trustworthy, and it even tricks your own brain into feeling better. It can completely change the first 5 seconds of meeting someone. It's a total game changer.
Okay, so once you've got the right mindset, it's time to move on to the practical tools. This section is all about the mechanics of a great conversation, what you should say, and maybe even more importantly, what you shouldn't.
Just look at this chart. It's so simple. The book argues that the fastest way to become someone people love talking to is to just swap out a few words. When you start talking less about I, my, and mine, and start focusing on you and you're literally speaking their favorite language. You're talking about their favorite subject in the whole world, themselves.
Now, let's talk about what might be the rarest skill of them all: real, active listening. This isn't just about shutting up while someone else talks. It means you put your phone down, you look at them, and you listen with one goal: to understand where they're coming from, not just to wait for your turn to talk. When you give someone that gift of your undivided attention, they feel incredibly respected. And that feeling is magnetic. So, we've talked about the internal mindset and the external tools, but honestly, none of that stuff sticks without this third crucial pillar: trust. This is about playing the long game and building a reputation for being a person of integrity. Here's a tough one from the book. When you gossip with someone about other people, you're sending a very clear message. That person immediately starts thinking, I wonder what they say about me when I'm not here. It just completely destroys trust. You know, they say small minds discuss people, and that's what this is all about.
Think about it. What do most people do when they mess up? They make excuses, they shift blame. The book says this is a huge missed opportunity. Owning your mistakes, just saying, you know what, that was my fault, feels vulnerable, but it's actually a massive sign of strength and confidence. It builds your credibility way faster than pretending to be perfect ever could.
This one is so simple, but it's absolutely non-negotiable. Do what you say you're going to do. Your reputation is built one promise at a time, and it can all fall apart with just one broken one. A great tip from the book: always under-promise and over-deliver. When you consistently do more than people expect, you build rock-solid trust fast.
But building trust doesn't mean you can never give criticism. Of course not. You just have to do it the right way. And the book recommends this great little technique, the feedback sandwich. You start with some genuine praise, then you deliver the constructive feedback, and you finish with more praise or encouragement. By doing this, you let the other person save face, which makes them way more likely to actually listen to what you have to say.
Okay, so we've covered a ton of ground: the mindset, the tools, the foundation of trust. Now for the most important part of all: how do we actually turn this knowledge into action? Let's bring it all home.
When you really boil it all down, it comes back to these 3 pillars. It all starts with a mindset that is genuinely focused on other people. Then, you need a practical toolkit for connection, things like listening and focusing your conversation on them. And all of that has to be built on a solid foundation of trust and integrity.
So, I'll leave you with this question. Don't try to do everything we talked about all at once. That's a recipe for failure. Just pick one thing out of all of it: the AAA formula, focusing on you instead of I, or even just offering a sincere smile. What's the one strategy you can try out in your very next conversation? Because that's where real change starts, with that one small step.